Hello guys, welcome back to another video on housing stuff for Throne and Liberty. So today I figured I'd real quick touch on just the contracts, and then we're gonna go into a little more in-depth on like decorating your house and arrangements, because we've only briefly touched on that in the other ones. So first, for your contracts, make sure just whenever you're doing your contracts that you are refreshing them to try to get the best reward possible. These do vary. And then try to make it the most efficient that you can, because some of, like, say on the gathering item ones, they want like base materials like fine sand, coal, stuff like that, and they'll still give you 5 coins versus needing to turn in a blue item. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your contracts for the week. Same with crafting and all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's get into the decoration part. So I do have some stuff I need to transfer in that I made. So I have achieved the large house finally, so now I can kind of like relax, I guess, and not worry about like the house rating that items provide. I can just work on the tiny details in the house a little more than I did before. So we're gonna kind of mess with some stuff here. I'm not gonna try to take too long, but just like I touched on my buddy's house last time and how he kind of made his house almost look like either like gravitational kind of like distortion happened in his house because he was messing with physics. And I have another guildmate who's doing this too, and he's making kind of like a like a jump maze in his house by distorting things and having them floating. It's really cool. But actually, you know what, I'm gonna go show you his house real quick just because that's it's such a fun thing. All right. Yeah, so as you can see here, he's got everything all crazy. It looks like if you play Fortnite, they have like little maps like this in Fortnite. Oh goodness, I can't get up now, of course. But yeah, so it's basically like he's got a bunch of different like ways that you can jump around and get up, but a lot of these floating items are still solid, so that's what makes it really fun. So he wants to try to make it larger, but yeah, so he's got this kind of stuff going on right now in here. It's really cool. It just shows like what all you can do with the housing stuff. Even though it may not provide any actual benefit to the guild, it's just fun stuff you can do with it. Okay, anyways, so with that all being said, obviously you can do a lot in this game with like adjusting things, and we kind of went over the allowing the overlap in the last one, like with these partitions. But obviously there's still the limitations with the actual framing of the house, so you got to keep that in mind while you're working with things. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how I want to do all this yet, but I'm gonna be partitioning off my bedroom area from the rest. I need to make a bedroom area for our guildmates because they like to come into the house, so this is actually the guild house. It's what we're calling it. But so some fun ways that you can do things just for aesthetics is like this painting. I took this painting and with the advanced rotate, I don't want to move it, the advanced rotating options, you can just mess with these a little bit to get the slants and stuff like that. You use your shift rotate to get it the angle you want it on. And you're holding control and suspending it off the wall will help you achieve what you're looking for. And so it looks like it's a picture frame on my desk, not on the wall, because of that. And also by turning off your display grids, you can fine-tune stuff a little better. I use the grids to kind of help get an idea of where I want something placed, and then I will adjust it. Like I'll show you right now. So like in this instance, my bed is set up against this window, But if I mess with this window covering, just with grids, it's not going to line up. No matter how I do it, it's going to be off center. And now if you don't care, that's awesome. But I have OCD, so this drives me absolutely bananas. So a way to mess with that, in some cases you can use the suspend button and it will let you go left and right, but this one is only letting me go further out from the wall, which obviously we don't want. So how I'm going to fine tune this is by turning display grids off, and now I can adjust as I want it. Now it is a little finicky, so sometimes you might have to place things a few times and inch it here and there to get where you want it. And then remember to mess with your screen or your camera angle so you can see if like things are floating or not. So that's pretty close to center. And now if I snap my bed back, it's going to be just off a little bit. So I'll quick snap it with the grids, and then I'll turn the grids off again and then adjust, do the micro adjustments that I want on it. And it just helps you fine tune things and make things look a little more like lived in, I guess. Like, so you can also do this with the plants. We talked about how last time using the overlap with the plants, because of the branches and flowers, can cause them to not be placed very close to things. So you turn on overlap and then turn off the grids. It allows you to get even closer to the actual housing, which, like I said, you can't kind of overlap onto that very well, but it lets you get pretty dang close. So I used the same feature that I used to do the picture over here on the pillows, because if you place them naturally, they're just laying down like this, which is fine for on the floor, but on your chairs and stuff, obviously you want to have them look like they're actual nice little, you know, decorative pillows. So a great way to do that too is make sure you're dropping your camera view down so you can see if things are hovering, because when you do adjust a lot of these advanced settings like lateral scent and stuff, it can make things float in the air, so you'll need to bring it down. So you'll adjust it to the angle that you want it with these settings, and then you'll use your suspend to move it up or down. And then if you want to remove something, I'm sure you already know, but just to cover it, you withdraw it, so delete. But yeah, so that's how you would fine tune things. And like you can see over here with all the tablecloths, they're super cute, but they overlap everything that is on the table once you put them down. So like it looked like the forks and stuff were on it. So like here, I'll show you real quick. So we're going to take this, we're going to delete and withdraw it. And now we are going to go find the cutlery set that I just put away. This one's not placed, obviously. It doesn't have the little icon. So that's what it looks like when you just naturally place it. So obviously we're gonna click on it. We're gonna hold, for PC users, Control while we lift it up to suspend it. And then I always just kind of, you can see it's floating a little bit much. Click on it again, hold Control, and then fine tune. And sometimes it's a little finicky, like I was saying. You might need to actually move it. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh no! Now I don't even know what happened. Oh goodness, I wonder if it's under the table. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna click on it again. I don't know why it rotates, like it shifts like where it is in the line of things. But okay, so now I have it. I know this is it, so I'm just gonna withdraw it again so I can just adjust it right off. So little bits, micro adjustments. Tilt the camera. It's still floating a little bit. I can mess with that a little bit more, but that's like what I'm saying. It's finicky. So you can do that to everything, and you can get it to line up. Like the bowls, it did it to literally everything on the table. So you'll have to do that for that kind of stuff. And then like just over here on this little desk, well, not a desk, Jesus, like a wardrobe type shelf, using the grids again to center stuff. And then when you see the grids, you can see the squares. So all those little center points in between the squares is what you can mess with when you turn the grid off, basically. So like over here where you can see my items are bunched up, it looks more natural when you're able to do that. Because if you placed it on the grids, it's like it's all boxy. Like that doesn't look natural, right? So, oop, don't click that. But so once you turn the grids off, that's when you can fine tune everything, like I was saying. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that because I know it can be a little confusing. They don't really explain anything. They just want you to mess with it, and it can be frustrating if stuff doesn't work. Like I said in the last video, like overlap sometimes doesn't work or whatnot. So if things don't work, what I've found, like I said last time, was either withdraw it to your inventory and pull it back out and then try to mess with it, or turn the function on and off, you know. So yeah, just basically like that. And then you can use a bunch of items to just kind of make things feel more at home. Like I've been putting stuff in storage bins so it looks like an actual lived-in area. So it's been really nice having the large house because of that. You can take a little more time to do the actual designs and whatnot. Oh, and then with tables, if you may not have noticed, because I didn't notice originally, when you're placing the tables like that, you can rotate it, and those little like half circles on the bottom are where the chairs will be placed, so you can adjust it to how you want your chairs to place in the world. If you want them to be angled or whatnot, you can do all that. So really, really cool stuff that you can mess with. You can just really, sky's the limit. Like my friend, he also took painting, which I know I have another one in here I just made. Oh yeah, so he took a painting and like put it at the end of his bed, basically. So let's see if I can mess with it. Okay, see, now it's letting me shift that way. So display the grid, it's only gonna let me go that way. Okay, so we can figure out how to mess with this. Yeah, it needs a wall somehow. So you could probably place something here just to have it have something to snap to or like lean onto, and then pick that up afterwards. But he basically did this with his bed and like made it look like a TV. And when you snap it, you see it's not like falling into it. Oh. Kind of almost, you know. But yeah, so you can mess with it for like a long time and, you know, figure out what you want to do with things and stuff like that. Like I'm sure you could snap it onto some other stuff, but yeah. So just wanted to touch on that for a third video because there is a lot to it, like everything else in the housing system. If there's any other questions or things you guys are interested in knowing, please let me know. I did have a question about like how long it took me to get to specific levels, and I honestly did not like time myself on anything. I probably should have like at least taken notes on like, hey, yeah, it kind of took this long. But so I did make this sheet. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick for you guys. It's in our Discord. Like I said, all these videos are they're for my guildies because they want to know, and so far I'm the only one with a large house on the server, I think. But so I made this. Let's see if I can make it a little big. Whoa, okay, that's a lot bigger. Full screen. Okay, so yeah. I made this sheet, and you can kind of do the time crunch calculations if you want, but this is basically the rough estimates and whatnot of like how many gray items you're going to need to level up and how many green items. So you can multiply these by a minute each, and then the green items are what, 10 minutes each. So yeah, it does take a long time to level these up, guys. Just keep that in mind. I kind of shifted from focusing on other things to just focusing on this because I really like crafting stuff in, you know, games and whatnot. And I basically am where I want to be at for the most part, gear wise, for anything relevant that I'm doing right now. So yeah, that's basically it. We got this free cake with the event that's going on for the 1 year anniversary. I think that was the little, oh no, we still have 2 days left. Yeah, so 12 days. So yeah, cool little cake for your house for free. That was basically it, I think. But yeah, again, if you have any questions or, you know, want to see something else, let me know in the comments. And outside that, have a wonderful time, guys. Bye-bye.